then the extensive feedback from the lawyers started coming. So we would have these 14-hour days where we would shoot, and then I would go back to the room and I would have these 2-hour con calls with the producer from Jungly Pictures, Preeti Shahani, the lawyers from Delhi and me, and they're like, this character can't say this. Agar aap ye aise bol rahe ho, he's alluding that he is a corrupt person or there is, politics inside. And I just patiently heard them out. By then, Vishalji was in the US, so I was left fighting these people. And my only thing was that, if we're going to pull out all the teeth of the film before we even make it, then let's not make it. Let's not self-censor. The maximum I will do is places which feel really volatile or we know that we may have an objection. We'll shoot alternatives which are safer and use them if necessary. But let's not self-censor right away. Thankfully, my censor viewing, the conversation with the censor board lasted exactly 1.5 minutes. The film was given a UA with no cuts. And all those alternative scenes that I had shot, I didn't have to use. I think somewhere the integrity and the intention behind the film.
What kind of alternative scene did you shoot?
Even the murder sequences, I shot it from different angles. One which was like upfront and more graphic. The other was where it's a little more distant with the murderer's back. So behind the murderer's back, so you don't see the actual slitting. When they discover the girl's body from the reverse axis, where you don't see the girl, but you see the backs of the parents covering the girl. So things like this. Dialogue. Where Irfan is reprimanding the cops, or in the last scene where he says your entire theory is a joke, and things like that, alternatives to that, which would be milder or more politically correct or whatever, but we didn't have to use any of those.
So there's a wonderful initiative that FICCI is doing upstairs on the 3rd floor. It's called FICCI Frame Your Idea, which lots of production houses and studios are listening to pitches and scripts from young filmmakers, writers, directors. They can just come 10 minutes, make a pitch. How difficult is it to take a story like this? You're making Talwar. You're making a story about a murder which is possibly the most talked about, most gruesome, most opinions are formed about this murder. How difficult is it to go to a studio and convince them and say, this is what we need to be doing? Over here, obviously, money does not matter, the actor does not matter. It's a studio is taking a very big call, right? So how difficult is it?
That was also actually almost serendipity. It was like, everything was working towards getting this film to be made. Preeti Shahani of Jungly Pictures met Vishalji to talk about Heather, and that didn't work out. So Vishalji passed on this script of Talwar to her and said, "Ye pad lijiye," and she loved it. And she said, "This is what we'd love to do this." But yes, everyone was very aware that it's a very, very unusual film, and what its potential is for earning or performance, etc. So working back from there, the budgets are very restricted. Basically, then it was all about number crunching. But once they came on, that conviction was very, very instrumental for the film, the way it got made. Jungly Pictures is part of Times of India. Everyone knows that Times now had a very, very clear opinion on the Arushi Talwar Noida double murder case. They thought the parents were guilty. They probably still do. Most of the Times of India Delhi editorial also was very clearly opinionated the way their articles came out. They weren't they weren't even neutral. And even then, for Jungly Pictures to agree to make this film, I think it's also very democratic of the organization as well.
So I think one level of criticism that I have heard and even participated in the film Talwar is that because the media had such a large part to play in forming the judgment of everybody, did you do enough to show the media, or were you under pressure from the Times Group to say, listen, media ko haath mat lagao?
No, there was no pressure as such. In fact, we have a parody of Arnab Banerjee in the film, in the debate sequence, the TV panel debate, which Arnab Goswami, sorry, and which he saw when he saw the film, and he actually started laughing, and I was very nervous about how he's going to react because he's kind of a scary person, a little bit. So, yeah, but it went very well. There was a reason why we didn't want to dwell on the role of the media. Yes, the media behaved very irresponsibly, and it was a big part in the way the opinions about the case were formed, even in our minds. We were as guilty. We were as guilty in lapping up the stories without even questioning them. This thing of unnamed sources, which happens with crime reporting, investigations, and it even happens with Bollywood gossip. A friend says, a reliable source says, allegedly. How do we absorb and believe that information so blindly? So the fault was as much ours as well. But the important thing was that if I had dwelled on the role of the media, it would have exonerated the responsibility of the investigative agencies, the responsibility of the judiciary, the responsibility of the police, who were equally responsible in the trajectory of the case and the mess that was made of the investigation. So that's why we kind of kept it a little neutral.
Did Arnab watch the film?
Yes.
And what was his reaction?
So I think the first, trial by fire for the film was when the first screening we had outside of the unit that had seen the film or worked on the film was the entire heads of all the verticals of the Times Group, whether it was radio, whether it was television, the Delhi editorial team, all of them. And Arnab was there with a list of some 30 questions in his back pocket. They saw the film, and he was very gracious, and he said, I still have my point of view, but you've made a good film, you've kept it, you've balanced it well, is what he said. But he never asked me any of those 30 questions, so that was a good thing.
In any case, if he asked you, you would not be able to answer because he doesn't let anybody speak.
Yeah, that also happened eventually when we went on his show, but yeah.
No, so you also told me that at one point, the third act of the film, which is where the second the second investigative agency comes in, you changed, or you had to rewrite, or you had to reshoot also.
Yes.
Why did you have to do that?
So the lawyers really started palpitating as the film was nearing completion. And when we finished writing our script, we met the family, the extended family, not Mr. and Mrs. Talwar because they were in jail, but we met his brother and his wife. We met the investigator of the first CBI team, but we could not meet the second team. For some reason, that meeting was just not being able to come together. And we started shooting anyway because Irfan's dates were running out. It would have been either I shoot in June or it would go 8 months later. So it was important to shoot the film as well. But the lawyers got into a little bit of a tizzy because in the original draft, the shooting draft of the film, we actually also covered a bit of the trial. And we went into court where there were testimonies and cross-examinations, etc. And the lawyers were very clear that you need to stay away from the judiciary. Because if somebody stands up and objects to the film, and if the topic lands in court, you want the judiciary on your side. So, keep them out of the picture. So a lot of the arguments that for and against the evidence or lack of it that take place during the trial were then incorporated into that long 13-minute table scene. So it was kind of like a quasi-trial that was happening in the film. So that was the part that was rewritten, and also I think we detailed out the second CBI team's investigation a little more to kind of play down the point that we're trying to tilt the story to one particular perspective. We didn't want to do that. So in maintaining that neutrality, we kind of detailed the second investigation a lot more. By then, our meetings also came through. So we met two of the people from the team, the second CBI team. We
You
were
meet the officer who plays.
The investigative officer unfortunately passed away by that time, and so I never got to meet him. But it was very scary because we were very afraid that, you know, if they tell us something which we have not already gathered or learned from the media reporting or all the reporting about the case or the trial, if they say something and it, you know, kind of tells us that our entire film is on the wrong track. I had shot 60% of the film already, so it was very scary walking into that room. But fortunately, nothing like that happened. So.
No, so exactly. So I mean, I come back to the role that a studio plays in or a producer plays in greenlighting a project like this, in the sense that anybody can object, right? While you're making a film, the Talwars could have turned around and said, "We don't want a film being made on our life," which did, for all intents and purposes, you've changed names around, but you, being the kind of person that you are and being the kind of legacy that you come from, I know that you would possibly turn around and say कि you would be mindful of that. If tomorrow, lots of people say, मतलब मैं उनके बारे में नहीं बना रहा हूँ, मैं तो fictional बना रहा हूँ, correct? But that's not what you were trying to do. So the CBI could have turned around and said that, listen, stop the film. Or the courts could have turned around and said, sub judice matter hai, band karo picture. Talwars could have themselves turned around and said that we don't know what she's making. She hasn't shared the script with us. You didn't share the script with them. So were you not afraid that to do something like this, and B, how much support did you get from your producers?
No, not afraid is not possible when you're making a film like this. I mean, you're afraid at every step of the way. The whole responsibility of making a film on a real issue, a real case. There are real people who are still alive, some who are behind bars, some who have played a part in the investigation, whether rightly or wrongly, but they are still people. And there's a very fine line between being disrespectful and being critical. Which was that fine line that we had to kind of balance on throughout. The support of the producer, Jungly Pictures, Vishalji, it was unflinching. But when legal would breathe down her neck, there would be, every alternate day she would call me, Meghna, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to pull the plug on this. Every alternate day from July 2014 to November 2014. Every alternate day, I'm really sorry, but I'm going to have to pull the plug on this. And I'm like, okay, Preeti, I understand. Maybe another time, another film. So we would have these conversations. And then when we finished the rewrite and we kind of got it vetted by the lawyers, they got a little more confident about the legal implications of the film. Then we shared the script with the Talwars as well. And we shared it with the clear intent that we are not asking for your permission. We are not telling you to endorse it. We are not telling you we will change it. We are just telling you this is what we are making. Because the crux of the matter is it's all in the public domain. So if we need to get militant about it, we could have, but it was just not the dignified way to do it.
No, so I come back to why Talwar, because it has everything going against it, right? I mean, why would you want to make a film which could shut down at any point? I'm not.
उस वक्त थोड़ी पता था. ये तो मतलब getting your hands and knees dirty, उसके बाद ये सब पिटारे खुलने शुरू हुए ना. We didn't know, I mean, one didn't realize, we didn't think that it would have all these problems. The minute I said, yes, let's do this, Vishalji said, okay, you start researching, let's start collecting the material. So it took a year and a half just for that. And if you spend a year and a half collecting material to begin to write a script, you're more than invested anyway. So then pulling back is...
So there are two characters when I watched the film which I felt that possibly would turn around and say, hey, हमारे को ऐसे क्यों दिखाया? You know, the Irfan's assistant who completed as a U-turn, as well as Irfan's boss, the guy who, the new CBI head. What were their reactions? Did they react to you at all?
So the smart thing over there is both those characters are actually amalgamations of several characters. So not one could have stood up and said, "Mujhe aise kyun dikhaya?" If you see the character played by Soham Shah, who is Irfan's junior, actually that character doesn't exist. It's an amalgamation of someone who was on the team of the first investigation at a distance and then actually headed the second team. So that's that. The guy who is Irfan, the second team, the incoming CBI director, Shishir Sharma, JK, or in the film, is also an amalgamation of two characters. Because what happened was the structure of the hierarchy of the team changed. In the first team, there was the head of the CBI, then there was directly Arun Kumar, who was investigating, and then he had his officers. When the team got disbanded and a new team got formed, at that time the CBI was also shifting offices. So they didn't have that red building in Delhi that we know, and their new office was not made. So they were operating out of Dehradun and in Delhi. So there were two heads actually reporting to the CBI director. And then there was an investigative officer and a prosecutor. So actually there are an amalgamation of the incoming director of CBI and one of the heads.
So did you feel somewhere that by being clever, you were not being true to what you had started out trying to do? Or did you feel that this is something that I was necessary to do because, I mean, people would possibly get offended and shut down the film? So.
No, actually, it didn't come from the fear of people getting offended. Neither were we trying to be clever. It was purely a very practical writing decision. What happened initially in the case, in reality, is that when the police investigated, the Noida police was investigating, and Hemraj's body was found, the first investigative officer, the inspector who reached there were 3 transfers that happened. Ek ke baad ek, 3 inspectors got transferred. If we had to stick to all those details, we would not have a single identifiable character who would hold the thread. So what we did was that in the film, we kept the face of the Noida police investigation as the SP and the SI, which is Gajraj. So those were writing things that we did. One interesting thing is, I don't know whether you remember, but at the end of that long roundtable scene between the two teams where they have a face-off, JK, Shishir Sharma, has a dialogue where he says ki, when the Home Secretary asks कि case court में prove किया जा सकता है कि नहीं, and he says कि parents कातिल हैं हमारे पास, मतलब we don't have the evidence to prove that the parents are guilty, but we also know that no one else can be the killer. Something to this effect. This is actually verbatim a line that was told to me in one of the meetings with the people from the CBI. I mean, this was their explanation, that we don't have the evidence, but we also know that no one else can kill. I mean, how much logic, does that statement hold is something to be considered.
Did the Talwar see the film?
I don't know whether Mr. and Mrs. Talwar have seen it because they're in jail, but I know the family, their brother, their wife, his brother's family has seen it. I know they have relatives who live in Toronto. Shri Paradkar is a journalist with Toronto Star. A lot of her writing was actually part of my research material as well. When Talwar screened at TIFF, she was actually sitting behind me. And she said that I didn't cry when I saw it the first time. I didn't cry because the journalist in me was watching whether you had done justice to the case. In the second screening, she was sitting again behind me, and we didn't talk, but she would send me this message saying that I didn't sleep all night after the second viewing, and I haven't stopped crying because now the aunt in me was watching the film. So, yeah.
You didn't have to do the whole Rashomon, 3 different versions, right? I mean, very clearly, knowing you, there's a point of view that you have on the case and you have on whether who has behaved irresponsibly, not behaved irresponsibly. Why did you choose to do 3 different versions?
it was important to bring out all the versions because, you know, I think part of the reason the film has connected with the audience is because we left the decision to them. We put them in the position of power, ki you decide. If I had come to them with a film saying, this is my point of view, take it or leave it, it would not have connected the way it did. I think that was a very big factor. Plus, you know, in something like this where I actually don't know what happened, I just have an opinion. To make a film out of that and amplify my opinion at that level, I don't think is a very mature thing to do.
So, I mean, lots of people might be today turning around and telling you that because, I mean, and I admit it, I would like to openly admit it, and because of Talwar, Airlift was possible. Because of Talwar, I think Neerja is possible. Because what it did to allowed studios to sit up and say कि ऐसी picture बन सकती है, ऐसी कहानियाँ बन सकती है, we can make that.
Stop lying, you already making
I was already
Airlift
making
before
Airlift,
Talwar
yeah.
release.
No, but I'm just saying it helped us. It helped a lot. It did help a lot. But no, Neerja was not being made. I know Neerja was started made just after you. My question is that the same studios, and I know that there are several studios that possibly turned around because they did to us also, and scoffed at us and said, Ki, you can't make a film like that. Are they calling you up now and saying, Talwar 2, Talwar 3, Talwar 4 banao?
That stuff comes at me in various ways. Something on Ruchika Gerotra, please. Something on Ishrat Jahan, please. I think, and strangely, when we were launching the trailer after the film got censored, is when that, what is that name? Indrani Mukherjee case broke. And the parallels were...
You should make that film.
See, yeah, so it came at me. It came at me, ki abhi is pe, and yeah.
On Peter Mukherjee side, Sheena Bora side, and Indrani side.
And the son also.
I'm giving you the script also. Son also.
Yeah, so yeah, that does happen, which is also very flattering. But no, thank you.
No, so do you in hindsight, I mean, the film could have gone this way, that way. Do you in hindsight think that obviously that this is the kind of film that you would have wanted to make irrespective of where and how, what people were telling you to do?
You know, I think I've been doing that since my first film. Because even when I came up with the script of Filhal, the advice that I got was, ye kya hai? You know, there's nothing for a hero to do. It's about two girls. It's about having a child without the involvement of the man. I mean, what are you doing? And I think you want to make this your one and only film.
So since then only you've been mad. College se pagal thi, abhi bhi pagal hai.
Like that. But no, I don't think anyone on Talwar ever expected. It was completely an experiment. From the studio side also, from our side also. For me, it was very scary for two reasons. I was completely stepping out of my comfort zone. I make soft, relationship-based films where women are important characters. And this was a completely all-male film. I mean, it was so masculine in the cast, in the crew, in the treatment, in the genre. That was one. And two, you know, you have a script which has been written by Vishal Bhardwaj, and you have to execute it. You have to execute it with a team that has come from him, with actors who worked with him. So, I mean, yeah, I set myself up completely.
That's my next question, because that was actually a big factor when I decided to produce Airlift with Raja, which is that you will not come on the set. So I said, yeah, I won't come, don't worry. मुझे अपने तेरे set पे आने की कोई शौक नहीं है. How much did Vishal come on set, not come on set, help, not help, what?
No, so unfortunately he was busy with Heather. I had to drag him, ki please aa jao. So he came once on the Muhurat, and both times we shot that long scene for a bit in the beginning. But otherwise he didn't, and he was away. He was between Heather and also the Broadway Monsoon Wedding. So he was in the US as well. So I'm glad that he didn't come on the set, because that would make me more nervous. You know, that's the embodiment of your pressure. Otherwise, the mental pressure is there. The image of him is there in the back of your mind. But, yeah.
But what was his reaction when he saw the film?
So we put the first cut together, and then I told my team that if all goes well and I get the nod, I'll take you all out for a treat. So we finished watching, and so he looks at me and he goes, you can go, you've made a good film, go. Aise karke. So yeah, it was nice.
Okay. I have two more questions. Was it serendipity, or that the blindfolded lady has a talwar in her hand? Was it serendipity, or none? Since a child we've seen that, right? And every courtroom scene, she's standing there with the tarazu. You've never seen the talwar nobody's ever seen it, right? At least I haven't. And when the trailer broke and Prakash Belavadi has that line, I remember I called him up. He was working in an airlift. I said, "You have the best line in the film." Yeah. How did that come about? And their name is Talwar, so it just works, right?
Yeah, so the title of the film being called Talwar is obviously Vishalji's genius. But so what happened was that we were doing this scene, which is a conversation between Irfan's character and Prakash Belavadi's character. But it was placed later in the film, where after he gets chucked out of the case, he goes and he's brooding, and his senior, who's not in the CBI anymore, is sitting with him and trying to kind of pacify him. And a kind of reference line that I had written at that point was to bring out the parallel, because this case is also so much about what is so obvious, and you see that what is thrown at you the largest, you see that, but you don't even notice the fine print or the stuff beneath the surface, which is the case with the Statue of Justice and the Talwar. So it was kind of like a reference line, and then the dialogue came from there.
And my last question is that there's a very interesting nod that you've given to your dad in the film, where Irfan calls...
That's not me, that's the writer.
It's a superb nod. Yeah. All of us who have been fans of Gulzar Saab just said, wow. Yeah. To have a relationship between Irfan and Tabu based on that one Andhi dialogue, Ijazat dialogue, so it was fantastic. So,
my God, that whole track we have debated so much. कि इसको रखें, इसको उड़ा दें, इसको रखें, इसको उड़ा दें, नहीं स्लो कर रही है, नहीं अच्छा है, थोड़ा सा ब्रेक मिलता है, नहीं स्लो कर रही है, नहीं अच्छा है, थोड़ा सा ब्रेक मिलता है. And then finally it was like, no, you know what, everyone chuckles when that reference comes back कि इजाज़त फिल्म देख रही हो क्या?
मेरा कुछ सामान is playing in the background. Yeah.
So नहीं, we'll keep it. So this was Vishalji's writing completely. Yeah.
So I've asked whatever questions I could think about asking. If you guys have anything to ask, please go ahead. Can we give mics across?
आपकी फिल्म रिलीज के बाद ये तलवार दंपति को कुछ फायदा हो सकता है?
उम्मीद थी कि कोई कुछ फ़ायदा हो, बट आई थिंक हमारी ट्रेजेडी ये है कि हम डिबेट करते हैं, हम सोशल मीडिया पे रिएक्ट करते हैं, बट एक्चुअल तौर पे कुछ हिलता नहीं है. सो अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल हैव डिबेटेड, ट्वीटेड, क्वेश्चन, पिटिशन भी चलाई गई टू फास्ट ट्रैक द केस, बट उनकी बेल डिनाई की गई थी. वो अभी भी जेल में हैं, उनकी बेल दोबारा से भी डिनाई की गई या उन्होंने अप्लाई नहीं किया. और हाई कोर्ट में केस पेंडिंग है. Allahabad High Court is now backlogged by about 25 years. So it's currently listening to cases from 1998. So
फिल्म आने के बाद उनको उम्मीद बनी होगी?
नेचुरली, मतलब आने के बाद नहीं, आई थिंक जब उनको पता चला कि इस कहानी पे फिल्म बन रही है और कौन बना रहा है, कौन नाम जुड़े हैं, तो नेचुरली एक होप आती है. एंड फॉर मी दैट वाज द बिगेस्ट प्रेशर, बिकॉज मैं उनको एक बिल्कुल ही होपलेसनेस की जगह से, बिकॉज दे हैव नथिंग मोर टू लूज़. वो जेल में हैं, उनकी बेटी नहीं है और उनकी मतलब डिग्निटी, रिस्पेक्टेबिलिटी की धज्जियाँ उड़ चुकी है. सो दे हैड नथिंग मोर टू लूज़. आई वॉज पिकिंग देम अप फ्रॉम अ प्लेस ऑफ होपलेसनेस एंड पुटिंग देम इन अ प्लेस ऑफ होप, विच वॉज वेरी स्कैरी. But like they say, one keeps persevering and keeping the hope alive. Hopefully, kuch ho.
A similar question. I'm Charu from Delhi. And Arushi case, it really shook the whole of Delhi and the whole of country, and of course us also. The question is like, how difficult or easy was it to approach Mr. and Mrs. Talwar since they were in the jail? And I mean, you must have got several questions before approaching them to take their nod for the movie. So what was it like?
We didn't actually take the nod for the movie because all of our material was based on information in the public domain. We actually finished our shooting draft of the script, and then we shared the script with the family, with Mr. Talwar's brother, who actually is quite in charge. I mean, even during their trials and things like that, he's been the one in charge because Mr. Talwar was probably in jail, and so he was actually the guy who was calling the shots. Yes, we did get feedback from them. We did get a lot of insightful information. You know, there is so much confusion about वो जो 3 दरवाजे थे घर के, सबकी अपनी अपनी ओपिनियन है कि वो पहला वाला दरवाज़ा, फिर उसके बाद जाली वाला दरवाज़ा, फिर उसके बाद मेन दरवाज़ा और बीच में एक सर्वेंट्स रूम का दरवाज़ा. So he was the one who actually gave us a lot of insight and laid out the whole thing for us, because even the house was out of bounds for us to go and see. It was locked down.
You didn't visit the house and the terrace?
We couldn't. We
not.
couldn't.
And didn't you think that you should have, been to the actual location before shooting for the whole?
See, now the thing is that, when you start wanting to do things like that, you also get accused of, being a megaphone for the cause, which we didn't want to do. It was very clear that our film was about the investigation and how botched up it was. What its impact was or what its implications were are secondary. It was actually a look at the investigation into the case. Plus, the house was locked up. We weren't allowed access to it.